All right, Scott. I know you are super psyched for a show that's making its return soon. What do you got for us?
I am so excited. So I had some screeners come into my email the other day and I immediately dove into them because I love this show so much. It's called Making the Cut. If you're not familiar, you can learn a little bit more about it by watching my hangout that I did with Heidi Klum, Tim Gunn, and Jeremy Scott from last season. But if you want to kind of I can dumb it down for you. It's essentially Project Runway, but like leveled up. So basically, it's owned by Amazon, and what they do is these designers create looks. They create two looks, one that's more high fashion, and then one that is considered an accessible look for every challenge. And then the winner, that accessible look, is then made available online that day, and you can purchase it, which is fantastic. So super excited about it. We'll learn a little bit more about it after we watch this trailer.
Hello, designers. Welcome to Making the Cut Season 3.
We have 10 very talented designers from around the world. Who's going to be the next great global fashion brand?
I leave everything in Brazil to be here.
This competition decides my future.
The winner of Making the Cut will receive $1 million. And each fashion show, the winner's accessible look with additional color options and companion pieces will be available on Amazon in the Making the Cut store. This is the most fashion we've had.
And welcome to our incredible judges.
This I like. It's like a hot mud wrestling competition.
I am so mad at you.
Why?
Flames.
Oh, you're gonna clue me right now. Why are you so mad?
You've just been Mrs. Whited. Because during dress rehearsal, you're like, "Oh, we're talking about making the cut." I'm like, "Oh, that's like Project Runway, right?" And you're like, "No," and you made me feel like a real jerk because I didn't know Making the Cut. But you just said it's like Project Runway.
And to be fair, I did say to dumb it down.
Oh, okay. So Gordon can get it. Is that the?
Exactly. I'm going to Gordonify it. There we go.
All right. Well, tell us about Making the Cut.
So this season is amazing. So Jeremy Scott is back. Nicole Richie, who was actually a judge on the first season, but wasn't on the second season, returns, which I'm super happy about because her commentary is phenomenal, as you saw in that little clip. She's like, her comedic timing is everything, but she also has like really interesting points in terms of like her fashion. But also one thing that's new this season is that normally it's just one accessible piece that's available. It's the same piece that was shown in the actual show. This time around, they're actually making multiple color options of the accessible piece and companion pieces. So it's sort of like a capsule collection built around this winning piece. And as someone who's watched, I think the first 6 episodes, I can tell you right now that you're definitely going to want to jump on your Amazon account and like get ready to buy some of this stuff because it's really cool and unlike anything that I've personally ever seen. So I really like this show, and it really kind of got me thinking, there's a lot of reality television show out there, and reality television shows out there that kind of get like, and the genre, I guess, gets like a bad rep because it's a lot of trash. Just people fighting and arguing, and like I get that, and I understand people's wants and needs for that. But for me, and I think for you as well, as we kind of had this conversation, you want something that kind of highlights the cool and creative things that people are doing. And this show does a really great job of doing that. And there's a bunch of other shows that do a really good job of doing that. So I'm curious if you had to pick a show that kind of like really nails that sort of like creative element, what would you pick?
Yeah, I love this category because like, you have your lifestyle with, people flipping tables and stuff like that. And you have competition where they're encouraged to lie to one another, deceive each other. But then there's just shows where they take creative people, give them materials and say, go at it. I love that kind of stuff. As everybody knows, I'm a huge everybody.
All the people.
Knows, all the Gordon maniacs out there know. I love my holiday baking shows. Give people the ingredients and they come up with an amazing amuse-bouche. Or like a holiday cookie. I did say I didn't dumb it down. So I love that kind of stuff. There's, on Netflix has Blown Away, where it's people, making these amazing like glass sculptures. But what I picked today is an old favorite. Not that old, but a classic. Not even a classic. It's called Face Off. Let me just get the point. Jeez, Gordon, find a point and stick with it. This is a show on Sci-Fi where special effects artists every week are given a new challenge to make something horrifying, and they're given a time limit. And what they come up with is just mind-boggling. As far apparently the theme is how much we love horror stuff this week, and it's really worth your time to check out like these masters at their craft and what they're capable of. If you're into it, I know not everybody's into horror, but as far as like taking creative people, giving them a time limit, giving materials, and giving a topic, it can't be beat. It's just so cool. Scott, do you have another pick in this genre?
I do, but first I'd love to talk a little bit more about Face Off, because I really think that it is a fantastic choice for this. And I honestly, this was one of the ones that I was kind of tossing around in my mind, just because what they do with prosthetics and like practical effects is truly, truly next level, and like things that you would never think of, like how creative they can get with it. Before we even started this show, we were talking about removing eyebrows and how that kind of like changes. This is just the things that we talk about here at What's About.
You want to know why that conversation come up? I got my hair cut yesterday, and while I was getting the haircut, my hairdresser says, "Oh, do you want me to do your eyebrows?" And I was like, "I've never thought about my eyebrows my entire life."
You should.
What's wrong with my eyebrow? Wait, should I have? Is this a thing that people talk about Gordon's eyebrows behind his back?
I mean, there's a Slack channel about it.
But I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, oh no, I just ask everybody that. And I'm like, I'm the clay. You are the artiste. You feel free to mold me as you see fit. So she trimmed them up, and she's like, let me know if your wife notices. And she didn't. She absolutely didn't. So they couldn't have been that bad, because that woman has to stare at my face all day. So that's this is a bit of a tangent.
A little tangent.
This is what the people want to know. Everybody who knows I like cooking shows wants to hear about my eyebrows. And here we are.
Naturally, here we are. But yes, I do have a pick. My pick, and is I think you're also a fan of this show, is Lego Masters. Will Arnett is the perfect host for the show. I mean, he just brings such an energy. I know he was in the film, but I never really synonymized him with Legos. But he does such a great job of kind of owning that space, and like his interactions with the people that are kind of making all of the creations is just really amazing. And like the challenges that they do throughout all of the seasons are incredible. I love that recently Fox gave a little bit of a sneak preview into the new season. And I'm not sure if you saw that. They kind of like premiered one episode early that was Jurassic Park themed, which was really, really cool. This is a bit of a long lead teaser, I guess, into the new season, which I'm very, very much looking forward to. But some of my favorite challenges in this are the ones where they have to like make something and then immediately think about like how it would look when it's destroyed, which is just like not a way that my brain personally thinks. I'm not like putting on an outfit being like, how would this work if it like ripped off?
If I fell down the stairs.
Exactly, but like, I don't know that my brain works that way, which, I find personally really fascinating. And it's really dramatic. Like, I personally love tactile games, anything that's like dexterity. I'm like Philadelphia's premier owner of German dexterity games, despite having the shakiest hands like on the East Coast. But it's kind of crazy. So when I see people using Legos and like their ability to kind of like click those things together, I feel like I'm so ham-fisted when I try to do that. Like it always just falls apart. So it's fascinating to be able to see people do that with such grace. And when it does go south, it really goes south, and it's so dramatic. I love it.
I feel like we're learning a lot today, and we absolutely do have a Slack chat where we talk about your shaky hands.
You would.
And here's a fun fact. Will Arnett would absolutely chastise you for saying Legos. It's not the plural of
Lego.
Legos is Lego, because
My
Landon, our miss him so much, did a Hangouts interview with him and absolutely got called out for saying Legos. So just FYI, if you're ever hanging out with Will Arnett, apparently that's one of his bugaboos. This is a fantastic choice. There's just something about like who hasn't played with Lego their entire life.
Rude.
And to see like experts take it to such an art form is inspiring and depressing, because I'm not capable of such things. But awesome choice. But yeah, those are our creative reality shows. And if you want to check them out, again, all these things are on the What to Watch destination. Just say What to Watch, your Xfinity voice remote, or you can cut to the chase and say Making the Cut, Face Off, or Lego Masters. We'll take you right there.